Hey, how's it going, guys? This is going to be a walkthrough of the new God of War 3 challenges. They're called the Challenges of Exile. I should have had this walkthrough a long time ago, but I got sick and couldn't get it done. But now I got it done, so let's go through and I'll show you some good tips and tricks for these challenges. Alright, so the first challenge here, probably a bad challenge to start off with because it's mostly luck. I mean, I can help you out a little bit, but it's mostly just the luck of the draw. The goal is to kill 15 crows, not harpies, but crows, those little black crows that are flying around, without hitting the ground. Basically, the way to do this is you use L1 circle to grab a harpy and get yourself up in the air, and then you're going to attack the crows and then try to continually grab harpies to keep yourself in the air until 15 of the crows are dead. Now, there's no real method to my madness here because sometimes you'll go up in the air and you'll attack and you'll get 5 crows in one shot, and then other times you'll get no crows. I mean, there doesn't really seem to be any kind of pattern of the way they fly or anything like that. The best way I've found to do it is to just make sure you're high up in the air before you try to attack, or else you'll hit the ground and have to start over. Just be patient with this one, and eventually, if you work at it enough, you'll get it. Alright, so challenge 2, you're going to need to kill 50 enemies, which is all the enemies, before the time runs out. The biggest thing about this challenge is getting these first enemies killed fast, because they're just going to be a complete nuisance to you later. And it's important to get as many enemies killed before your weapons change. The blades are a lot better at killing enemies than the electric whip that you get next. Forgetting the name, but so you want to get as many guys killed right off the bat here. Alright, so there's the weapon change, and now the Minotaurs are going to come out. And if you remember in my old challenge video, my walkthrough of the first challenges, you can use the same technique I used there to get rid of Minotaurs. Getting them up in the air with the whips, and then if you keep pushing triangle, you can get a whole bunch of hits on them, and you can kind of bounce them up in the air and kill them real quick. The biggest thing is getting these Minotaurs out of the way because they're very aggressive and they're going to continually attack you and slow you down. After that, you're going to switch to the Hades weapons, and the dogs are going to come out. The dogs are extremely annoying, and you're going to need to get rid of them just as fast. I normally try to keep my attacks on the Minotaurs, though, while hitting everything else, but just use very big area attacks is one of the biggest things you can do, is just use area attacks. And as soon as you switch to the Hercules weapons, you're going to want to go after the shield guys because they're going to try to dodge you later when they're the only enemies left. So get them out of the way, and as you're attacking them, all the other enemies are going to be trying to attack you, and you can kind of get them out of the way at the same time. Challenge 3, Pandora on fire. Kind of like the last challenge, kill all the enemies within the time limit. This time though, instead of having a time limit, Pandora is slowly falling into the fire, and you need to kill enemies to keep her from going into the fire. So, kind of basically just the same thing as the last challenge. Different enemies though, and you can use whatever weapons you want. I go with the Hercules weapons because the shield guys are out at first, so you need to get them out of the way. The biggest thing is crowd control. If you can try to group the enemies, it's a lot easier to kill them that way, obviously. So you gotta really work on that. The enemies seem to be quite aggressive in these challenges, so if you just go after one enemy, the other enemies will tend to come at you, and you can kind of group them together. Once again, you need to get rid of the shield enemies quick, and I switch back and forth between the Hercules weapons and the blades. Mostly because I like the blades better for killing groups of enemies, especially these smaller enemies. When it gets to like bigger enemies, the Hercules weapons seem to be better. As you see here, I'm having trouble with the dogs. It's really important to get those dogs killed because they're just going to keep grabbing you, and it takes so much time to get them off you. Whereas if you were to just get hit, you can continue to attack, but the grabs really take a lot of time off the clock. See here, I'm continuing trying to kill those shield guys, and one of the biggest things when the sirens come out, kill the sirens very quickly. I focus all of my efforts on the sirens because they're just they get very annoying. They'll do the screech attack and you'll be stunned for a few seconds, and they fly around and they'll become invisible, so you have to use the head to reveal them. So it's really important to get them out of the way. Now, when I first started this, trying to do this challenge, I saved the rage for the Cyclops that comes out in a few moments, but this time I used it earlier and it worked out, so pick your poison with that, but it tends to work a lot better when you use it against all these little enemies, because they just get annoying, whereas the Cyclops, if you're attack them enough, you can actually get them down pretty quick. Here come the Cyclops, and I'm still attacking the Siren. Now I'll start attacking the Cyclops. One good thing about the Cyclops is he does attack other enemies on accident at times, and that helps a lot. There's that annoying Siren move. You really gotta try to get those sirens out because they will use that move when it gets really annoying. Luckily, I was able to trap that siren in a corner, but normally the siren would just fly around in circles, and it makes it a lot more difficult to finish it in the last few moments there. Hands off. This one, all you gotta do is kill all the hands. Now, I don't really know what they were thinking with this one, but it tends to be too easy. I mean, all I did was use L1 square, and I've yet to fail it. I did it twice. One because I wasn't recording, and then one to get it recorded, and it was easy both times. I had plenty of time on the clock, so nothing really to say about this one. Alright, use protection. This one is very annoying. Basically, you have to destroy all the shields, but not the enemies. One of the best ways I found to do this is to use L1X. It's the grab move, but when you grab the shield, all it does is damage the shield. And if you can kind of block out one shield guy, you can get rid of his shield really quickly using this technique. Now, I've tried two different things. One being getting rid of all the shields right away, or I've also tried to get everyone's shield red and then destroy all the shields all at once. Because once you destroy the shields, the enemies get a lot more aggressive. I didn't find that to work very well. I found this method a lot better. The other thing is, when you see a group of shield guys, it's a lot better to use square to attack than the L1X, because you can hit more than one shield at once. Alright, Hades Kids 2. Now this one is also very difficult. First, you're just going to kill this first Chimera as quickly as possible. Best way I found to do it is just keep the pressure on. Don't worry about dodging his attacks, just keep attacking. Hopefully you can get him to the minigame before he even gets a chance to hit you. The biggest problem, as you're going to find very quickly, is this third form. They just love to jump around and do crazy long distance attacks, and it's hard to really get good attacks on him. The best way I've found is just use long distance attacks. Use the triangle finisher because you can kind of aim it so that if he jumps right at the very end of your combo, you can aim it towards him. Once you kill this first one, 2 more are going to pop out, and from then on your goal is to get as many Chimeras in the third form before killing any of them. The reason being because as soon as you kill one, more are going to pop out. So you want to do as much damage to both of them as you can before more show up. Now that you got both of them in third form, you're going to want to try to get rid of one of them. Not both of them yet, but just one of them. Now we're going to keep that last one in third form. And out of these 2 Chimeras that pop up now, just focus your attention on one of them. At this point, we only need to kill 2 more Chimeras. We already have the one in third form, so kill this one, and then the goal is going to be to kill that last one that's jumping around. That's going to be the hardest part of this challenge, is killing that last Chimera that's jumping around while there's 3 other Chimeras trying to attack you. Last but not least, we have Fear itself. In this challenge, you're going to be fighting Fear Kratos. Now, there's not much I can say about this. Basically, he uses the attacks that you've been using all game. He's not easy. He's quite tough. It does take a while to kill him. He has a lot of life, and there's no indicator on how much life he does have. You do know when he's close to death because he'll start using a new attack. He'll use the attack where you dodge roll and slam your swords against the ground and creates a little earthquake looking thing. Not that one you just saw, but you'll see it later. He kind of dodge rolls and then does the same looking thing, and the stream, instead of going straight up, kind of follows you around for a little bit. But other than that, I would just stick to small combos. if you start trying to do a big combo on him, he's going to counter, possibly perfect block you, and if he gets a combo out on you, you're basically dead. A lot of this is just dodging his attacks and kind of taking your time. Don't try to kill him fast. Take your time, just make sure he doesn't hit you, because then you're going to have big problems.